Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel.
Hey everybody!
So today's video is going to be a little bit different because this past Saturday was my mom's birthday.
Yay!
And I made her a cake for her special day.
Yes, she did. It was so good.
It really was delicious.
Good job, baby.
Thank you, Mom. So just, hang out with us for a little bit so we can chit chat about how I made the cake or whatever. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll get started. Okay, so let's get into our ingredients that we're going to be using for my mom's birthday cake. This is some cake flour, some granulated sugar. This is buttermilk. You could also use whole milk if you'd like. Some salted sweet cream butter, sour cream, salt. This is baking powder. And we're going to be using the whites from 6 eggs. And some almond extract. And then for the buttercream frosting, we're going to be using powdered sugar, a little bit of half and half. You could also use regular milk, some more salted sweet cream butter, and some more almond extract. And as always, all the ingredients and their measurements will be down in the description. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so I'm about to get started on the cake batter. And this will be the first time that we used the KitchenAid mixer that my mom got for her birthday.
Yay, this is really nice.
This mixer is amazing. I was like shook, I guess you could say. Because I'm creaming the butter and sugar right now, obviously. But I was able to walk away and do something else. Usually I'm using the hand mixer and I have to stand there, and do what I need to do after I finish. But, it's the small things, guys. Yeah, it really is.
She did seem a little bit relaxed while she was making the cake. I came in there and she was chilling, doing something else.
Right.
Wiping off the counter, doing something. I'm like, okay.
So this almond extract is very strong, okay, guys? You know how we never measure the vanilla? We're going to measure this today.
Oh, yeah. That almond did not come to play.
Right. I
it
put
packs a punch.
4 teaspoons in the entire cake, including the icing. And it was like more than enough flavor. So
yes. And this was my first time, I think, having almond to my knowledge. I'm sure that there's, birthday cakes or whatnot that have it in it. But I didn't know because we had never used it.
Yeah.
And so it was a unique flavor. It did taste like a bakery cake. So
yeah. I used to work in a bakery and we had a cake called wedding cake and it tasted just like this. It's basically just a vanilla cake, but instead of vanilla, you use the almond extract. I mean, it is a little bit of a different process, but there's different processes to making cake or whatever. But that was sour cream, just in case anybody didn't know.
I just love the fact that you can lift the head on the mixer and add that stuff in there. That's great.
Yeah. So now I'm separating egg whites. This is also something different. Last cake we made on the channel was a red velvet cake, and we actually made meringue, and we folded it into the batter. But in this recipe, you mix the egg whites with the buttermilk, and we'll have the recipe linked in the description for you to follow along, I guess, because this isn't our recipe, but it was still delicious. It was great. So,
and this is new for me, y'all. I'm seeing it just like y'all because I hadn't seen it because I wasn't there when she made it. I was in the house going in and out of the kitchen, but so.
And you'll see that a little bit later. There was, it was her birthday, so we were having some festivities.
Yes.
So I had a little bit of an audience.
Yes, so much fun. I had a great birthday. Yes, I did.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it wasn't even my birthday.
I had a visit from my cousin, and she was here for a nice long weekend. I'm telling you, I had the best time, so I'm thankful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So as you can see, I have the pouring shield on the mixer. I found that it was easier to, just pour it in between the mixer and the bowl without the shield.
Which I cannot stand, and I can't wait to use it myself so I can see for myself.
It'll probably be easier to use if you're not recording a video, for one, and if you're not using flour, because I was pouring in some cake flour, so it was making more of a mess than I wanted to. I feel like I didn't have control over it because I couldn't really see. I was trying not to hit the camera,
Yeah.
So
right, because you're recording. That makes sense.
So I ended up just taking it off and just pouring it in there. But it did work. I just I didn't have the control I wanted over it. Okay. So as you can see, I'm alternating between the cake flour mixture and the egg white mixture. So I did about a third of the flour, then I did half of the egg white mixture, then I did another third of flour, then the other half of the egg white mixture, and then the rest of the flour. So this trick, I can't remember when I learned it, but I saw them doing it on the Great British Bake Show. I'm like obsessed with that show. That's where I learned most of the stuff that I know. But
yes, she definitely has different techniques than Mom used. So
right,
which is fine, as long as it gets done. That's all that matters.
Right. So I'm making like parchment paper rounds to go in the bottom of my cake pans, and I'm pretty sure you could buy these. You don't even have to do this, but I just folded one sheet into, I folded that in half and then folded that in half. And then I put the point of the fold in the middle of the pan. And I put the outside, like I marked around the edge of the pan. And then I cut in front of, you can see the pencil is still on that part that I just discarded. I cut in front of that so the pencil marks wouldn't be in, the cake.
It didn't go in the cake, y'all.
Right. And then you have a circle that fits at the bottom of the pan. So like I said, they make these.
That's a neat trick.
Right.
And you can also use oil and flour the old-fashioned way if you want. It's probably the old-fashioned way these days. Right. But maybe not. People still do it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So.
They still sell that stuff too. That's oil and a little bit of flour in it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I just took some, I think there's canola oil in there. I can't remember. And then I'm just using a paper towel. You can use whatever method. You can use, cooking spray. But I just prefer it to have used what I used. And because you put the oil, these parchment paper will obviously stick and it won't move around while you're putting your batter in your pans.
This is so good.
I used a 1 cup measuring cup to put my batter in the pans. One cake was still a little bit bigger. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but me being anal, I was like, are you kidding me?
You just take a spoon and just dip it out into the other pan. It's not a big deal.
Right. It looked, I'm talking about after I baked it. It looked even. I mean, now I'm looking at it, it doesn't. But when I was making it, I was like, that looks pretty even.
Yeah, the right side, the right one on the right looks a little bit bigger, but it's fine though. It's fine.
Right. That's where trimming your cakes come in. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. You just end up with like a hill of icing. Not even a slope. There you go. A slope of icing when you cut it. But anyway, so I put that in the oven, 350 degrees, and mine baked for about 35 minutes. So while they were in the oven, I was going to start on the buttercream frosting.
That butter's pretty.
It really is.
It's golden.
I know it's all kind of in the wire whip attachment, I think is what it's called. The butter's kind of just, clumped in there. But I have it on a really low speed because I'm pouring in this extract. But once I turn it up, you'll see it kind of, separate. Because of physics, I can't remember if it's centripetal or I can never pronounce it.
Girl, don't start me. Don't get me started.
But as you can see, it's coming out. And then it's going to do it even more when I add in the powdered sugar. Which was a giant poof. It's like you can't avoid it unless you put in very tiny amounts and stand there all day. But you'll see that by the time I'm finished with the icing, the mixture is just covered in powdered sugar. I've seen people use like a kitchen towel over it, a shield, the shield. It's just it'll lessen it, but it'll still happen. But that's just part of baking. So my icing's done. And if you wanted to color your icing, this would be the time to do that. But I wanted to keep it white. And because my mom likes white on white cake. And she also likes pink cake with pink icing.
Those are my 2 favorites.
So you can see now what I was talking about, how one cake's bigger than the other. But like we said, it does not matter.
Right. It does not matter. It's fine.
So now I'm turning the cakes out of the pans. And these came right out. Like, I didn't have to shake them, nothing.
Effortlessly. It's just, came right out.
I let them cool for maybe 5-10 minutes. Then I took them out of the pans, and then I let them cool even longer, until they were like completely cool before I iced it, because you don't want your cake sliding all over the ice. But this is my favorite part of making a cake, obviously, the assembly.
And that was always my least favorite part.
Really?
Yes. I didn't trim my cakes, the way you're trimming yours, so it was a little bit different. So I didn't like that process. Sometimes, if I was having a really off day when I was baking, if one was much larger than the other, you flip it upside down. It's just all kinds of stuff. So it's a little bit different.
And this did not go to waste, guys, okay? I put it in a container thinking, okay, I can make some cake pops with this. The container's empty now, just so you know. It's gone. I never made the cake pops.
Everybody in the house was walking by. Oh, let me take. Oh, it's so good. Y'all, it was so good. It was so moist.
Yeah,
so much flavor. Because
it was a birthday cake for an occasion, I didn't cut it like we usually do at the end of our videos.
Oh, right.
So this is your chance now to see the inside of the cake.
Right.
But it was very light. It was pillowy. But
and I
moist.
think the mixer really makes a difference, and not that it's better. It's just different. So I'm thankful. I'm excited. I can't wait to use my birthday present, my other birthday present, the mixer. So I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, I can't wait to make a dough, some kind of dough.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So I put a little grip. I don't even know what you would call that. That blue thing I put under the cake board to help it, not move while you're icing the cake. And then I put icing on the cake board to keep the cake stable, so that wouldn't be sliding all around. And then I'm doing the layers, and then I'm going to start on the crumb coat, which I don't know if it's newer, but
I'm sitting here trying to think of what that's called. I can't think of it at the moment, but yeah, it does have a name.
The crumb coat?
No, the blue.
Okay, yes.
I know somebody's watching the video yelling at it. Oh, that's what it's called.
Right.
I do that too. Oh, goodness.
So when you were growing up and you were making cakes, did you do, I think you've said you didn't used to do crumb coat.
No, I never even knew what a crumb coat was. I'm like, what? No, there was no crumb coat. I did, I would ice in it. I was doing a crumb coat, I guess, and didn't realize it. Because I would always ice in like a thin layer, like you said. But then I would top that. I would clean my knife and top that with another coat that for sure didn't have crumbs in it. So, yeah, I guess that's what I was doing too, and didn't actually give it a name.
She had the instinct. She had the baker's instinct.
I had that mama to tell me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, just in case you don't know what a crumb coat is, it's just a very thin layer of icing that you put on your cake before you do your final, thick decorative layer or whatever. So I just put this thin coat on and I put it in the refrigerator. You could also put it in the freezer. But I put it in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes while I did other stuff. And
that's something else that I didn't do. So
put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. I love to cook with my daughter because it's you get to see different ways of doing things. Like I showed my mom, and then I show her, and then she shows me things. So it's pretty cool. I'm always willing to learn something. I always say that.
Right. It's fun to learn, especially in the kitchen.
Exactly. You're never too old to learn.
And I'm not a professional by any means, so this cake will not be baby skin smooth.
Baby skin. But it's okay. It tasted good and it was fine. You didn't need to, do anything extravagant or anything like that.
You can see the movement in the kitchen, y'all.
Us in the background walking by.
That was you. You had your arm on the counter, and then my brother was there. You might see his Superfly bracelet in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But now I'm doing the final coat of the cake. I did wish that I had made more frosting for the cake. It can be achieved, of course, but it's just easier for somebody that's a beginner to have more icing to make your cake smoother, I think. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am. But I had enough to ice it and then do a few little decorations around the cake.
Oh, there's your brother right there.
Yes, there
he is. Hey, Rashard.
So now I'm just trying to smooth it as smooth as possible. Smooth it as smooth as possible.
It's fine. So it was just a really good cake. And I was excited. It was cool to come in there and hear the mixer going. I was like, oh, this is a little different. I should use the mixer. Oh, I can't wait, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit excited about my mixer.
As you should be. That thing's amazing.
It is.
So now I'm just cleaning up my cake board to begin decorating. I couldn't decide, and you'll see in a little bit that I actually did a design on top of the cake, and then I ended up just taking it off because I was like, I don't like the tip that I used. So I changed the piping tip and did a different design. I didn't want it to be too similar to the red velvet cake. I mean, it is kind of similar, but we'll get there as we progress, as we get better at making cakes.
That's right.
We'll get into more complicated designs. So this is the first tip I used. I'm just alternating which side I put the little dollop on, just so they'll be kind of symmetrical.
Then I came in there, I was cracking up because I saw her doing this, but then I came back, it was flat again. I'm like, wait, what happened? She's like, oh, I just decided to change it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right. It's just like I don't know how to use the tip right to get the kind of definition. So this is a different tip, obviously.
You can definitely tell the difference.
Right.
That looks like ice cream.
It does.
Wow. It's so pretty.
And it tastes good too. But let me know how I did, guys. I really want to know.
Well, I think you did good.
Your family gonna hype you up. But they'll punch you in the back of the head too if you need it.
Okay, right. I mean, we'll hype you up. We'll also get on you too. Okay, now you know.
Right.
So yeah, it was a really good cake. I thank you for making my birthday cake.
You're welcome. And like I said, we can't cut into the cake because it was a birthday cake. So I just got a couple shots of the cake, in its not perfectness.
That's okay.
It's okay.
You'll get it next time.
It was still good.
Right.
So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you know when we post our next video. And I guess we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for joining us. And happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Mom.